Namo Adita Pha. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I'm determined to speak truthfully, with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that could cause the family or the community to break. I am determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. For our Dharma lessons, we're reading Ajahn Munindo's book, Unexpected Freedom. We're continuing in a chapter on a question of identity, beginning a section on coming home. From here on, the struggles to defend or promote ourselves turn into the material of our contemplative inquiry. The force of feeling that drives us to protect our individual rights alters, transforming into active, compassionate concern for all beings. Just as a dead-looking branch in winter changes into a fragrant, blossoming tree in spring, our hard-edged personal tendencies soften and reveal themselves as means of enhancing conscious relationship. So we are not interested in getting rid of personality. We are very interested in altering our perspectives on it. In moments of being one with ourselves, we discover such clarity and sensitivity as was previously unimaginable, as well as an interest and willingness to accept in awareness everything that we might previously have sent underground. This process is very humbling and proceeds at its own pace, which is often not my pace. I want it over and done with. However, if we arrive at this stage naturally, that is, without straining for it, then all the resources needed for enduring the tests will be available. As we recite in our morning chanting, the Dharma holds those who uphold it from falling into delusion. A heart that is awake studies delusion, doesn't run from it, and doesn't push past it. Of course, we still have our habitual desire to avoid it, but we study the desire too. By carefully investigating what is already at hand, who and what we really are begins to become clear. The instruction to contemplate anatta is not an injunction to become something or somebody other than that which we already are, and that includes trying to become nobody. It is drawing us back to a recognition of the reality that already always is. The gradual dawning of this recognition dissolves the apparent solidity of our somebodyhood. We can gently trust in the benefits of all that we have endured in the process of investigation as we experience the unfolding of a more agile being. We find there are more and more situations in which we remember ourselves more quickly. We are now more likely to be able to accord with whatever situation we are in as we move through the world, not because we've become more liberal or compromising, not at all, but because we don't hold ourselves so tightly. I once heard a venerable monk speak of the difference between the between the awakened and the unawakened states, as like the difference between flowing and frozen water. A mind identified in egoity is like an ice cube that only fits into spaces its own shape. As our rigid, frozen ego is subjected to the fires of the passions in the course of committed practice, eventually a kind of meltdown occurs, and, like flowing water, we can move more freely with the circumstances of our life. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.